All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between HawK and Sonic, taking place here on Warhill. This was well played or taken from the W3 Champions season 20, I believe, finals, and well, just trying to cast some great games before we get another updated patch by Blizzard. Well, keeping the meta fresh and introducing a number of different changes. Um, I'll probably be going over those past changes in the next couple of days as I, well, also go through my own little midlife crisis. It's it's strange to know that you're going through a midlife crisis as you're going through a midlife crisis. It's just um, kind of odd, but I guess things like losing a or having to change your career or losing a job, divorce, all of those things, um, well, are big pivoting moments in your life, right? Aren't they? Anyways, Ancient of War placed down here. There is a Moonwell. We do not see an Altar of Elders yet. So what does that mean? It means that this next Wisp will be trying to train up an Altar of Elders, and then we will be getting up a Tavern Hero. So Tavern Hero, Fire Lord, what Goblin Alchemist, Dark Ranger, Panda, all of those are viable options. Meanwhile, HawK will be able to get that Archmage out at that 2-minute and 5-second mark compared to the 2-minute 15-second mark, and this game will get underway here. So that little scout farm off to the side to keep track of your opponent. And the reason why scout farms work so well is that they do have fortified armor, especially against Night Elf. So if you're wondering why it feels so, why certain racial matchups have certain specific strategies, well, that fortified armor acts as a deterrent because early early damage is either piercing or heroic, both of which are not effective against that fortified armor. All right, HawK gonna go ahead and clear out this Ogre Warrior creep camp. The Storm Reaver Apprentice easily gonna get taken down, and we see a Beastmaster. How could I forget the good old Beastmaster by Sonic? So Beastmaster with those Quill Beasts, and well, summoning up those Quill Beasts, we already have 3 archers out, and that's one of the benefits of going for this, going for a Tavern Hero first. You can build your Ancient of War earlier, and now, well, you just have more units. All right, in comes that Beastmaster. Beastmaster trying to get in some damage. Are we going to see a quick expansion attempt? That's the question here. There's a 4th archer already out here, so the Quill Beast doing quite a bit of damage. Ring of Protection +4 picked up by the Beastmaster. Gonna finish off that Forest Troll Shadow Priest. 2 Quill Beasts are out here on the battlefield. A little bit of target practice on this Quill Beast. Meanwhile, Archmage, well, has cleared out the far side here, and it looks as though the Militia will be setting up an expansion too. Gloves of Haste on the Archmage. Nice item overall. There's that Tree of Life that we were looking at earlier. Beastmaster, a number of low hit point units, and we're gonna see, well, that Ancient of War now tank some damage. All right, ooh, what was this? A raccoon getting in the way, and a double purge by the Stormweaver Hermits onto the 2 Quill Beasts. All right, finally, the Beastmaster gets in front. He takes that purge. A little bit of an AI issue. Stormweaver Hermit thinking, hey, you know what? The AI thinking, hey, I'm gonna purge this Beastmaster, not realizing that's not really the priority target. That's not how you should be casting Purge at all. Archmage comes around here. We're gonna see some water elementals. Oh, a quick shadow meld by the archer there, and the Ancient of War could actually, well, suffer quite a bit of damage here. All right, Ancient of War gonna be taken down, and that is gonna significantly delay any additional units trying to be trained out. We do see Quill Beasts out here, still on cooldown. There is 1 or 2 shots. Yes, Archer does get taken out as well, as the Archmage is trying to rack up more and more damage against all of these units. There's a detonation, I believe, as the Ancient of War, well, able to root itself. And are we going to see another reveal? This is a little bit of a risky behavior here, as we see the archer purposely, well, shadow melding and then walking away again. And this archer is going to shadow meld once more. So that reveal not resulting in a kill. And with that said, the Archmage of HawK going to retreat. Coming back around here, well, there is that expansion by HawK. Arcane Tower already up and operational. No Arcane Vault. Meanwhile, the Tree of Life getting re-established again. The Archmage and Footman perhaps earlier were able to force a cancellation on this Tree of Life as the Footman now hangs back here. He's going to try and hide, does scout out this Tree of Life. There's going to be a little bit of damage. This Footman, however, will get taken down easily, giving level 3 to the Beastmaster. Level 2 Quill Beast, that's going to be, well, even more damage here as we see a Footman getting taken out. Archers trying to retreat back. That is a lot of ranged piercing damage. And they're just continually just adding more and more damage here. All right, Water Elemental down to 213 hit points. Going to try and retreat back around again. We're going to see this Water Elemental down to 108 as the Water Elemental does have a little bit of natural regeneration. Archmage does get into the deny there, but the Beastmaster already at level 3, and his summons, well, are just better than his opponent's summons at this point. As the Archmage wanders around here, we see the Militia trying to clear out some additional creep camps away from all the action. That does give the Archmage a little bit more experience, but still not sitting at level 3. Meanwhile, Hunter's Hall, Tree of Life trying to be established up. Archmage already has the expansion going, and this is what HawK's doing. He's buying time. He's making it so that his opponent is not in his neck of the woods. If he can delay this, well, Tree of Life again, that would be absolutely huge, but it may be a bit difficult, especially with a couple of Wisps nearby as well. All right, this Wisp trying to run and hide again. Is the Footman going to be able to get the damage? And no, Ancient of Wonders being established right there, and that is a lot of archers with a lot of damage. One more final attack here, and oh, Archmage gets the deny again. Beautiful denies by HawK, but still Sonik with that experience lead, as we should be looking at Tech to Tier 2 now. Tech to Tier 2 nearly already done, this one about halfway done. Meanwhile, Expo is already completed here. We are getting a Blacksmith. Arcane Vault is done as well, and the Archmage should be trying to pick up a Scroll of Regeneration at some point, and at some point, and then healing back up all of these units. All right, HawK's Footman, these two frontline Footmen taking a little bit of damage. Actually, no, not taking any damage at all. The Archmage is the one taking all the damage here. He's going to retreat back, pick up that Scroll of Regeneration, and, well, perhaps come back as a new man, or a leveled up man at the very least, at level 3 now, finishing off the remainder of this Forest Troll Trapper creep camp. All right, a little bit of damage there. That additional bonus 5 armor, big deal. There's level 3 now on the Archmage. And what is going on? Not going to go after that Forest Troll High Priest. Going to use a Scroll of Regeneration, and needs a little bit of time to heal. Meanwhile, the Archmage is already walking out across the map. We can see a Naga Sea Witch out here as well. So any sort of tactical retreat is not going to work out all that well. Skeletal Orc Grunt, or no cold arrows. Okay, I thought there was going to be cold arrows, but didn't toggle them on. So that Skeletal Orc Grunt actually able to retreat back. There's a new Quill Beast again. And, well, the Scroll of Town Portal trying to retreat back. Scroll of the Beast is going to be picked up by the Naga Sea Witch. Yes, in time as the Archmage, well, Goblin Shredder repairing. And now that is going to be a lot of damage. Tactical retreat here. Archmage needs to retreat back out. Footman with Defend, though. And the Goblin Shredder down to 125 hit points will live to fight another day. Meanwhile, this Footman from HawK easily going to get finished up here. Beastmaster going to easily chase down that Footman. Down to 58. One more attack from that Beastmaster, and it gets taken down, giving now level 4. All right, interesting to now see level 4. Meanwhile, the Naga Sea Witch not using cold arrows at all. Gonna get most likely Fork Lightning as that second ability, and then be able to perhaps try and burst down some of those Footmen. Mountain King now joining the fight and joining the fray alongside HawK. Are we going to see some creeping? We are. Mountain King does go for Stormbolt first. Archmage should be dropping a Water Elemental momentarily. All right, there's the auto attack. Are we going to see a Water Elemental? There's a Water Elemental. And, well, very carefully, HawK really played it close there, but still getting some regeneration off of that Scroll of Regeneration, as the Mountain King now looks to clear up the remainder of this creep camp and get to level 2. All right, easy building, quickly getting taken down. 45 supply over 60 compared to 48 over 50. Both sides, well, both sides doing their thing as we see an Ancient of Wind and a tech to tier 3. Interesting call here. There's a single Ancient of Lore. Nope, dual Ancients of Lore, but Ancient of Wind. Are we going to be looking at Fairy Dragons to perhaps try and counter any sort of caster play that may be coming through HawK as he gets into dual Arcane Sanctums? No scouting needed, just, well, intuition to let you know that, hey, most likely there are going to be a lot of casters here in this fight, as the Naga Sea Witch 5 experience shy from level 3. Alright, Archmage, Mountain King, level 3, level 2, going up against soon to be a level 4, level 3 Clarity Potion on that Beastmaster. Naga Sea Witch venturing forth, and we are going to see some cold, or we're going to see some slow poison arrows. There's level 3 now on that Naga Sea Witch. Are we going to see, yes, level 2 Forked Lightning, dual Raging Bears trying to charge the Priest. Are they going to try and dispel? And here we are, there goes a Rifleman as well. Both sides exchanging blows. Both sides going into low upkeep now as we see the Dire Quill Beast actually getting taken out by the creeps here. Archer gonna have a very bad day. Staff of Preservation for the save as we come back the other way again. Raging Bear does get the occasional bash onto a target here. We're looking at the Abolish Magic now. Militia now being called over. Archers, that is a lot of archers, 16 to 18 damage. And now there's a massive Thunderclap as well. Archers do not have that many hit points, so that Mountain King's Thunderclap, as he levels up, is just going to get that much scarier if we still see a focus on, well, production of archers. All right. Both sides retreating back a little bit. 60 supply compared to 67. Both sides running on 2 bases. 4-3 versus 4, nearly level 3, as that Mountain King wants level 3 for either level 2 Stormbolt or level 2 Thunderclap. Footman also looking to retreat back here, able to reflect back some damage as we see a third and final hero coming in from Sonik. We are looking at a Pandarin Brewmaster. So Night Elf going full Tavern hero as we see some damage hit on through here. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? A lot of low hit point units. Are we going to see some damage? All right, we see Roar also being used as well. And what is going down here? Immolation onto that Mountain King. There's Breath of Fire. Mountain King falls at level 3 and still more damage being had. Panda, does he have Breath of Fire? Yes, he does have Breath of Fire. He wants to get another Breath of Fire off here. Is he going to be able to do that? Exactly that. Finish off some of those units. And well, there goes another Footman back home. Scroll up Town Portal. I thought perhaps he was going to get taken down. Instead, reflecting back some of that damage as the Brewmaster gets sent home to, well, to heal up. This is going to be an interesting position. Here we are. Dryad does come across the rest of the army. Brewmaster is right here. Are they going to try and engage? No, they are not. 75 supply compared to 70. Sonik having a fairly large army, and both sides actually just creeping. All right, so obviously these two sides do not see each other along this wall here. Archmage says, you know what, I do want no involvement with the Night Elf army right now, especially with my level 3 Mountain King missing from the battlefield. Resurrecting, most likely, yes, nearly halfway done, as we are looking at 77 supply compared to 73. But the overall army size tells a much different story. Sonic's army size about 25% larger in terms of supply than his opponent. But it does come down to composition, where your units are placed and how those units are fighting out here on the battlefield. There's Mana Flare already by the Fairy Dragon. Units are trying to retreat back. Footman with Defend, able to reflect back a little bit of damage. Are we going to see the Panda get the kill? He is. And now one experience shy from level 2. Beastmaster also very close to level 5 as well. Are we going to be looking at level 3 Quill Beast to deal even more damage? Enraged Jungle Stalker going to get taken down. There it goes. Dual level up on the, or triple level up across the board. Fairy Dragon here trying to clean things up here. Pendant of Energy. Who's that going to get picked up by? Perhaps the Naga Sea Witch. Oh, and yep. All right. My overlay trying to flicker. I'm not trying to flicker, just flickering there. As we see, Archmage has retrained from Water Elementals into Blizzard. There goes a Storm Bolt right there. The Fairy Dragons are off to the side. You may not recognize them there as we see the Spirit Bear, Raging Spirit Bear, able to blink to that back line. But do we have any stuns? Yes, we do. And it is the bear who is going to try and stun things down. All right, Mana Flare there still. Beastmaster, well, Spellbreaker trying to clean things up. That is a lot of frontline damage in that Blizzard. Mana Flare still causing problems as the Panda now comes back around. Are we going to see some Breath of Fire? There's a Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire. Mountain King still causing some problems. Archmage gets up to level 5. Level 3 Blizzard. That is going to be a lot of damage onto those Druids of the Claw here, as the Druids of the Claw do need to retreat back. 85 supply compared to 62. That is quite a bit of damage as another priest gets taken down. There are some gold creep camps or gold camps on the side of the map here to go ahead and take out. There is the shipyards in order to get to that location. We've seen the shipyards be used very effectively on the map there, and also trying to get well, additional gold for a larger army out on the battlefield. Brewmaster sitting at level 2, Naga Sea Witch sitting at 4, Beastmaster already at 5, and the Mountain King, well, nearing level 4 as well. We're looking at this enraged Jungle Stalker creep camp. Mountain King gets up to level 4 here. We're going to see the fly machines, well, come back around, spot all of this. Are we going to see some engagement as the Fairy Dragons may try and poke apart? There is a Tome of Knowledge there. Is it going to be picked up by the Brewmaster? I would assume so. Yeah, he should spot that, right? Yeah, it's Daybreak. He should spot that. Finishing off the remainder of this creep camp here. Naga Sea Witch, is he going to pick up the tome? She? No? All right, Beastmaster also stealing some of that precious experience. Yeah, Tome of Knowledge. There we are. Naga Sea Witch, 725 hit points. Fork Lightning, Cold Arrows, and both sides. Well, Spirit Bears and Quill Beast now just diving into this position, trying to get some damage onto some of these workers. And it looks like, yeah, worker after worker could end up getting taken down. There's a little bit of damage there. Quill Beast going to try and dive in, perhaps. No. And still, Archmage, Mountain King, looking to clear out some more creep camps, perhaps get that Mountain King that much closer to level 5. 5-4-3 going up against a 5-4. And now this is where, well, hero leveling slows down considerably, as we see a lot of, well, level 3 plus heroes and no creeps to clear out. Iron Sonic, interesting strategy though. He's in high upkeep. He's still mining gold. I've seen players who are more, well, tax conscious purposely stop mining gold when they know that they're in high upkeep, as once that gold is out of that gold mine, there's no way to put it back in. And well, sometimes you just stop, fall back below high upkeep, and then start mining once more. All right, 78 supply compared to 92, and now a 79 supply army by Iron Sonic, or Sonic at this point. Invul Potion as well, alongside that Scroll of Healing. And this really is going to come down to whether or not those archers are still effective this late in the game, right? These archers are eating up a large amount of supply. They're those original archers that we saw from the early portion of the game, aside from the ones that were obviously taken out. But are they gonna fight well alongside this tier 2, tier 3 army, these Spellbreakers and these mortar teams? All right, Hippogriffs are out as well to try and perhaps counteract those flying machines. 2-2 upgrades on the flying machines, 2-0 upgrades on the riflemen, and 0-2 upgrades there. All right, for some reason I don't see the attack upgrades on my overlay, as we see Blizzard just raining down, causing so many problems. Archers, where are they? Archers are just sitting in the back saying, you know what, I don't need to be part of this fight at all. However, Scroll of Healing going to save 2 of those Druids of the Claw. Are they going to get stopped at preservation? One bear going to get taken down. Another bear could get taken down as well. Brewmaster does have an Invul Potion trying to stay alive, and these archers are not joining in on the battle. Meanwhile, we're looking at the, well, Mountain King, Invul Potion. Are we going to see some more damage? There's a Fork Lightning, and the Mountain King able to escape away at sub 100 hit points, Scroll of Regeneration, and a lot of healing now getting through as well. Wow, that Spellbreaker didn't get the Scroll of Regeneration. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that was about. As we're looking at, well, HawK looking to clear out the corner creep camps now. That transport ship, well, does have more cargo space than your typical Goblin Zeppelin, and that's going to head off to the corner. Meanwhile, we're looking at Sonik now getting back once more into high upkeep. But once again, if your archers are not going to be part of the battle, they're just causing you to lose gold right now, which is not what you don't want to be doing. 0-0 upgrades, and well, now looking at 1-2 upgraded Spellbreakers. Well, Spellbreakers right here. 1-2 upgraded Spellbreakers. All right, Peasants getting left behind here. We're looking at HawK setting up this expo in the corner, and that is going to be key, whether or not that expansion is and the economic game of HawK is going to prevail, or whether Sonik, with the larger army, 79 supply compared to 52, more than a 50% difference between HawK and 50%, right? 75, yep, 77, about there. All right. But Mountain King, Immolation, plus Thunderclap, plus Blizzard does equal a whole bunch of dead units if you are able to play it right. So Thunderclap, level 2 Thunderclap, 140 damage, coupled with Blizzard, level 3, 50 damage per wave, and suddenly, well, these high hit point Druids of the Claw and this Spirit Bear have all suffered large amounts of damage and can get picked off by Focus Fire. All right, here we are, here we go, going into this next battle. Hippogriffs trying to keep track those away. Sonik gonna go ahead and summon up a bear to, well, see what exactly his opponent is doing. All right, and what is this transport ship? Is he gonna spot this location? I think he is. This bear, well, units are gonna get unloaded here in just a moment, as we see a bit of a fight as well. Hippogriffs, flying machines, fairy dragons, both sides all trying to engage. Are we gonna see, well, nope, hasn't unloaded anything yet. Mountain King getting a Stormbolt off on that Beastmaster. Beastmaster now looking to retreat back, and here we have the bear finally, well, making landfall and gonna go after some of these units. All right, there goes one peasant there. So trying to do summons in order to put pressure on the expos as the flying machines get in a round of attacks onto those Hippogriff Riders. All right, bear continuing to, well, try to bash down this town hall. Not gonna work out well. Flying machines testing the water, 78 supply compared to 89. HawK can just sit back and kind of, if he knew that Iron Sonic had a 90 supply army, he wouldn't walk into this fight at all, and instead try and just be a little bit weary of how the battle's gonna go. All right, transport ship that could easily get destroyed. We're gonna see some damage here. Well, Dryads coming across here. Who's gonna come out on top? We still don't see a Paladin as a third and final hero from Sonik. As we're looking at the Mountain King trying to get to level 5. All right, there is a Spirit Bear. That Spirit Bear just can easily get taken down. If that Mountain King does get to level 5, there you have it. And now we see Blizzard raining down as well. Sonik has completely transitioned into an army of Dryads instead to counteract all of the Blizzard and Thunderclap AoE. Do we see more mortar teams? That's going to be needed, as the mortar teams are going to be able to lob attacks from the back and get some damage onto those Dryads. There's a Breath of Fire, and suddenly the Beastmaster realizes, wait, this is not a fight I really want to be in. Let me go ahead and back up. 78 supply compared to 74 now, but a Tree of Life being set up by Sonik here. All right. Peasants are, well, working, getting gold out of that gold mine. We're looking at the flying machines, keeping track of the other remaining expos, needing to make sure that the... Oh, Hippogriff Rider, wow. Hippogriff Rider easily getting taken down there. Oh, is that 4 or 5 supply? I keep on forgetting. I think it's a 4 supply. Not a unit you see very often. Sonik also looking to entangle a gold mine here. Main gold mines have been mined out. Tree of Eternity. Is it on its way? Yes, it's on its way to that northern position. Flying Machine's going to spot this all. Does not have the Bombard upgrade yet either, as Lumber could be a bit of an issue. All right. Transport ship taking a little bit of damage. Slow has been cast there. Mortar teams going to cause problems. And I think HawK just has the better unit composition with the mortar teams. 2-0 upgrade, being able to take down some of these buildings. Mountain King trying to act as a frontline deterrent. The Dryads do not want to be, well, in that front line because of all of that mortar, because of all of those mortar teams being able to splash down damage with that siege damage here. Mountain King going to be in a little bit of a tough spot, needs to get healed back up. There's some more Blizzard raining down. Units going to try and retreat back. Beastmaster in the frontline spot. There's a Stormbolt. There's a Thunderclap trying to slow things up as the big Breath of Fire Breath of Fire Forked Lightning takes down 2 sorceresses quickly. Brewmaster is going to turn back around, and this game could turn into a game of who has more spell immune units. Dryads versus Spellbreakers, 54 supply compared to 76. HawK is now in the driver's seat of this game. Sonik now in no upkeep compared to high upkeep earlier. HawK getting to level 6 on this Mountain King. Did he go for level 2 or level 3 Stormbolt? No, he has not. Spirit Bear could easily get taken down to 50 hit points. Just auto attack that's there to take it down, and we'll get a little bit more experience. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across all of the sorceresses. I'm going to see a Forked Lightning. There you are. Wow. As the Staff of Preservation brings the Brewmaster into the battle. Remember, I've said it before, professional players often rely on that Staff of Preservation far too often, thinking it is a get out of jail free card. And then this time around, it was actually a get into jail card, as it teleported the Brewmaster from a dicey situation straight into the Friar and getting taken out. Level 6, level 5, and a resurrecting level 4 Panda? Perhaps no resurrecting level 4 Panda. We are getting 2 bases to 1 right now, but that base off to the north is not fully saturated, and either is the southern one. Sonik has extra wisp here, but they were not mining in the gold mine. Meanwhile, we see HawK still mining off of 1 base only. Who's going to be able to close out this game? Archmage with Mass Teleport, able to quickly clear out this Tree of Eternity. That is going to be a very big deal indeed. The mortar teams lobbing those attacks. 2-0 upgrade. You can see the sudden drop when those mortar shells do hit, and Sonik loses his Tree of Eternity. And that also had Nature's Blessing pretty quickly. Mass Teleport now, and well, HawK is everywhere he wants to be. Going to be able to finish off this Tree of Life. Sonik is going to be in a very, very, very tough position, as we're looking at another Tree of Life getting taken out. Well, peasants making their way down south here. Is Sonik going to be able to do much of this battle? There's a Stormbolt here. Beastmaster. There's Blizzard. Wisp trying to come across. They get taken out. Archmage gets up to level 7. Level 3. Brilliant, or a Sonik bringing in the Goblin Shredder. And a 25% supply difference. Not enough, as Sonik looking like he's going to be forced to give up the GG here. 19 supply now for Sonik compared to 61 by HawK. All right, more damage, more, well, picking off here. Archmage is still invincible. Naga Sea Witch still fighting nearby. Remember, while the Archmage is invisible, the Mountain King is not benefiting from that Brilliance Aura. Now, the Mountain King is benefiting from Brilliance Aura, but is it going to be enough? There's another invisibility. Mountain King still doesn't have enough mana, and that is going to be the game, as the Archmage and the Mountain King able to hold out long enough to beat down Sonik. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.